Good morning. It's a first alert weather day today. We've got our latest system sweeping through, bringing us a chance for some snow, mix, even some rain in parts of the valley. It just depends on where you are. So here's a look at our travel forecast for today. We're looking at some pretty quiet weather so far in Grand Forks, and we'll see that at least for the early morning hours before things start to change. This morning, I'm giving us the green light for travel and for getting to where you need to be. The one thing I will say, though, with the caveat with that is there's a little frost in northeastern North Dakota, and those areas that melted yesterday, well, temperatures froze overnight, so we had some ponding from the melting snow. Those places are going to be a little slick again, so watch out for some icy patches on the sidewalks and roads and parking lots today. As we head through the day, you could see the driving gets more tough. We're talking some slushy, snowy conditions for the afternoon and into the evening, so the evening drive is going to be a lot more tough than the morning drive. Make sure you got your snow boots and you're ready to roll with that here for later today, even if things look pretty good for you this morning. And we'll have some sunshine to start for parts of the valley. You can see that on our radar and satellite map, most of us on the clear side, except for our counties in our western part of our viewing area where the clouds are taking over, where we're starting to see some of those radar returns overhead and perhaps even some snow starting to move in. Probably just a few flakes at this point in time, but we're keeping an eye on that. And you can see on the south end of this system, we're looking at some pink and green, indicating some rain or freezing rain, maybe a mix happening with that. And though the southern valley will be on the warmer side of this system, so it could get a little bit more of a mixed situation for you. And then, of course, you see the snow stretching all the way back into parts of Canada there. So here's a look at the hour-by-hour planner. We want to get right into that forecast for you today because there's a lot to go over. We're looking at conditions that are going to be starting to get a little tougher as we head through the morning hours for eastern North Dakota. Still pretty quiet over into Minnesota. And we're looking at some weather that's going to be more messy into the south. You can see all these colors here indicating some rain and a transition zone between that and the snow. And heading into the noon hour, we're looking at some temperatures that will be back into that freezing range or even above freezing for some of us here. So again, keep that in mind. We're looking at a kind of a messy, sloppy situation where temperatures rise to the freezing mark. But that snow band eventually sets up here heading into the afternoon. You can see that narrow band happening. And in these areas of purple and pink, heavy snowfall rates potentially. And so there's going to be some pockets that see quite a bit of snow and then some areas that drop off pretty steeply from there. You can see it's pretty quiet over towards the James River Valley around the 3 o'clock hour, and temperatures again around the freezing mark, some of us above. Heading into the drive time, again, very different situation depending on where you are. We've got that band setting up right in the heart of the Red River Valley, basically between Grand Forks and Fargo. This could shift, but that's the general area, and including Grand Forks and Fargo too, I should say. And then this eventually starts to move out. We see that wind pick up out of the north, and we'll have some windy conditions. The snow will be wet and sloppy and slushy, so it's not going to get picked up very easily, but where the wind picks up and we have some snow falling, visibility will be impacted. So here's a look at our snowfall potential. You can see this narrow band yet again. We're looking at areas where we're going to be seeing some conditions that are going to be dropping off pretty steeply, pretty sharply between this 2 to 5 inch range or into the 5 inch range in general in the blue area, the darker blue, and where we're just looking at maybe a rain snow mix or a very light dusting of snow. You can see there are going to be some pockets where we have the potential for more than 5 inches of snow in this scenario here. So keep that in mind. There are going to be some heavy areas of snow. And again, it's going to be this narrow band. So it depends on where you are. And if this shifts even just a few miles north or a few miles south, that could make a big difference for Grand Forks and or Fargo here as far as totals are concerned. So this continues into the evening, eventually tapers off. We're looking at the rest of the work week remaining mild. We have just more progressive pattern here, so quick shots of precipitation moving through as we head toward the weekend. The weekend cooling down a little bit, but still teens and 20s. We were really hoping for that not too long ago. So this weekend we're rounding out February on an okay note and much milder than we've been.
Thank you, Lisa.